Will you be editing this anyway, or people know?
Just depends. Wait, who do you want to slaughter about?
Oh, where do I start?
Where's your list?
Alright, they're fired up there.
When did you start contracting then? And was it Slurry you started with?
No, I started in the summer of 2013. We started baling and wrapping, hauling bales. I had started Slurry that year. A good friend of mine, he's a dairy farmer, he had a 2,000 gallon high spec, and I started putting out his slurry for him. And the deal was I bought his slurry for him, and any slurry job I got after that, I could have the work in his tank.
Yes.
We done that. I went back, I had been in Australia, I came home, set up the business, went back to Australia for the winter of 13 and 14, came back for the summer of 14 for good, and started into the second year of silage. And she bought me hedge coater. I started hedge coating and got into slurry a bit more in 2014. And sure, kind of after that it just built up, got busier and busier. I bought a second-hand 2,000 gallon high spec myself in 2014. And I worked that, and in January 16 I bought my first 2.6 high spec dribble back.
Yes.
That was the year that last scheme, it was a scheme for more the beef farmers came out, and you picked 3 or 4 different options of what you could do on the farm, as in grow wild cover, spread your slurry with a dribble bar, and a lot of them ticked the box for spreading the slurry with the dribble bar, but then realised how we're going to spread it with a dribble bar. A lot of lads didn't have tanks with dribble bar.
Yes, yes.
So that was really the year that got me going right to slurry, because I was one of the only ones around with the tank and dribble bar. And since then it just got bigger and bigger. The end of 2016, the November of 2016, I went off and bought my first umbilical outfit off Paul Quinn.
These mass tanks seem to be pretty popular in the south.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
There's not too many of them up Wales now.
No, this is my third system now with them. This is only new last December.
Yeah.
It's just over a year old. 2 10-metre setups before that. So we went for the flow meter and a bit more extras this time.
Yeah.
Happy enough with them now.
Why did you go for? Was that the farmer looking for them, or did you just
Yeah,
decide
there
yourself?
is. Yeah, sure. Look, the price of fertiliser now, everyone wants. There's no one wasting slurry anymore. They want it out fairly right.
Nearly every drop.
Well,
is accounted for,
but
like.
yeah, exactly. Like, years ago, you go in and if you bought 3,000 gallons to the acre or 4,000 gallons to the acre, lads didn't mind. Like, but now, as you see today, 2,000 gallons to the acre.
Aye. But them boys is putting out 3,000 or 4,000 gallon a acre. That's to get rid of slurry.
Yeah.
You know, there's only so many gallons an acre can take before it's, you're
doing
doing harm.
Over 3,000.
I didn't even think it was as high as that.
Yeah, around 3,000. Now we've spread a bit. We've spread maize ground for lads now, and you'd have to do it. They reckon 9,000 gallons to the acre altogether. So you do it in 3 goes of 3,000 a go. But yeah, I wouldn't like to be spreading much more now than 3,000 gallons to the acre.
Yes.
But that was back a few years ago when fertiliser was cheap and.
Well, it was ever cheap.
Well, no, definitely not
Cheaper,
anymore.
maybe.
Yeah. Like lads are going now with little and often, so look, it's good for us. It's even us busier. Like, like I suppose we're out since Monday morning. We're on the border of Offaly. Like, we're Westmead now. Where my yard is on the border of Offaly. So Offaly's slurry day had actually started on Monday morning. We could start spreading Monday. So I done a few jobs in Offaly Monday before I came down back into Westmead. Any farmer we've been with this week, we have to go back to them all between next week and the following week. And once they start grazing, then you could be with them every 2 weeks doing 20 or 30 acres at a time. Yeah.
So you're nearly doing like not a multi-cut, but you're doing like a multi-system for slurry.
Yeah, that's the way it's gone now. Yeah. Whereas one time we just come in and empty the tanks, just get it out anyway at all. I remember even years ago, like I do take ground here and there for making silage for selling, like, and you'd have lads that have tanks full and they say, oh, should be off a few load there. I could cover 50 or 60 acres a year for myself.
Yes.
From other lads' tanks, they're just getting a few load here and there, but now they want, no, look, I don't blame them, it doesn't matter, but there's not getting any load here or there anymore, like, they all want every bit of it themselves.
Yes, yes. Well, then what's the more popular, because we were up with your tankers there earlier on, you know, what's the thought behind a man taking on 2 tankers or say the pipe system? Is he getting it tight, or does he prefer the tankers?
No, he's more tanker man now.
Okay.
Tanker man on the silage ground and piping then, say, around the yard.
Oh, right, okay.
Paddocks and stuff like that, but as regards most other lads, like, them tankers grand, there's about 3 or 4 jobs ahead of them with the tankers at the minute, but where there's 10 or 12 jobs ahead of us with the pipes, like, and there's some of them jobs we have to do with the pipes. You could tanker,
yes,
but lads prefer
the pipes.
Yeah,
the pipe is the only answer, really. You know, if you want to spread slurry, the pipe's the only job.
And like, even like what we were at yesterday, like, we were drawing for that dairy man over there, and we were drawing up to all his out blocks up the road and down the road, you could say, and we drew it all with tankers and piped it. But when you drive out of the field, there's no marks, there's no muck in the road.
Yes.
You'd hardly know we were there.
Even like the gateways and stuff.
Yes. Especially this time of the year, you know, ground is dry, but it's still tender.
Oh, it's tender enough.
Ground is still tender.
Like, you have big wheels on there, but she's still tender enough.
Yeah. No, definitely in the last 3 years, our slurry, I would say, I'm 8 years now piping. And at the start, the pipes were on and off more than what the tankers were. The tankers were nearly out more than the pipes were.
Yes.
But then within 2 or 3 years, it started to venture the other way.
Mm-hmm.
And sure, since we started buying the tankers with pumps on the front for pumping out to the fields, I'd say maybe 30 to 40% of my slurry is through with tankers now.
Mm-hmm.
And pumped off the side of the road. This time of the year, there's no problem. Like, if you are spreading out slurry since we started on Monday, it is harder to agitate at the minute because we've had very little rainfall.
Yes.
Very little rainfall, and there's no water getting into tanks. And then there's an awful lot of farmers now, and we're allowed to spread dairy washings up until the last day of November, and we're allowed to start spreading them again the first day of January. And then there's an awful lot of farmers, and they're drying off cows in the middle of December, so they're not milking, so they're emptying their dairy washings tanks just before the date, and then they're drying off cows, and they're not starting to calve until next week or the week after. So when we're starting the slurry at the minute, there's an awful lot of them dairy washing tanks are empty.
Yes.
And there's not enough water. And like, we went to a job on Tuesday, and usually we'd pump water back up out of either a pond that's in the corner of a field that comes, or it goes after, you know, come the summer, it'll be gone. Or there's good drains on the farm, and we're able to pump water direct from the pump back up for agitate. We couldn't get water. We actually had to pull out of the job.
There's not too many times you're short of water in Ireland, like.
No, definitely not. Not this time of the year. But we'll probably pay for it next July when we're trying to bring in the silage and the water flowing down the hill at the LIE. But like, look at that, like, that's glorious weather for the job. Everything has just gone too weather dependent now. Like, you don't know what. Like, I have lads ringing, the tanks aren't full yet, but they're terrified in 2 weeks' time when they are full that we won't get to go with them.
Yes.
And like last year, there was awful pressure on any man around here that was at Slurry, because tanks, this is my first beef lad to be with since the season opened, and he's the only beef lad I have to go to probably for another week or 10 days. The rest of them are all dairymen. I generally don't have my beef men coming to me until early February before their tanks are full. Last year, on the 15th of January, I had all my beef lads ringing, and I had all the dairy lads ringing. Everyone was full. And you were going and you were doing 2 hours there, you were doing 2 hours here, you were just... And again, we got around everyone and got everything kind of half sorted out. The weather broke. And then we spent the whole month of February and nearly half of March doing the very same thing. Just going around in rings.
But like, how productive is that, really?
It's not productive.
You know, when you go into a lot of fittery fields like this here, and then you have to go between jobs as well for that.
Yeah.
You know, all that time along the road, they're changing fields.
Like, I was just looking back through the diary last year here the other night before we started the story, like, and whatever about. That's what I'm at the minute now. Is I give everyone a minimum of a day just to get them the pressure off, and then we'll start back and we'll go and we'll do more and more.
Yes.
But last year we couldn't even do that. Generally around Christmas, like down here at Christmas, you could spread every day.
Yeah.
The weather was fantastic, and there was heat in the ground, and the slurry was going to be taken up. Like, it wasn't going to be wasted.
That's the thing. But then that's why I was studying there. So obviously the slurry ban laps down here earlier than it does by us.
Yeah.
And I was sort of going through, right, who could we go to, who could we go to? Then I discovered there's 3 different zones down here.
There's 3 different zones, yeah.
So why is there 3 different zones in the exact same country?
It's down to leaching. I've asked the same question a few times myself. So they reckon there's certain ground has more, is it limestone or something under the ground, and it's more prone to leaching than other ground.
Okay.
And that's how they're determining. It's all to do with the leaching, the water or the slurry leaking into rivers and drains and stuff like that. And they reckon certain counties the ground is able to absorb the slurry quicker than certain ground.
Okay.
So you're the 1st of February. You're the latest one.
We're the 1st of February.
Yeah.
But ours closes later. Ours doesn't close until
yeah.
October.
We were changed here. We were changed this year, say in 24. We were to change in 23. It was to be the 1st of October in 23. But remember, there was such a bad summer and a bad end.
Yes.
They extended it because I was actually to go on holidays on the 16th or 17th of October. And I had to postpone it for a week because they extended the day and extended it, but we that much still ahead of us.
Yes.
I had to just stay going. Herself wasn't told that, she was told a different story.
Well, I was going to say, how did she take it? Like,
I hope she doesn't
she's
watch
not
the
for
video.
watching this,
They're on about bringing us in tighter again. Like, seemingly at the start, what I was told anyway was, in 23 it was going to be the 1st of October, 24 it was going to be the 1st of October, and in 25 they were on about bringing it back to the 15th of September, which is actually the date for the cut-off for fertiliser.
Alright, okay.
Yeah, and so now I haven't heard that anything since, whether it's going to go ahead or not. I think, personally myself, and chatting a few farmers out along, and I think they'd prefer if it went the same as what it was in the north. If we got a bit longer, we got until the end of October and left it until the 1st of February.
The month, yeah. Aye.
But I'd see a lot of my slurry now, so we'll be busy now. Come March there, it'll quieten down. You'll have a lot of silage ground done by the end of March. So month of April, for about a month there, we quieten off.
Yeah.
As soon as lads start banging in pit silage, then we're back out again.
Right.
But I did see last year, like, we spread an awful lot of slurry after the first cut silage. And that had nearly empty a lot of lads, and after that then it would be paddocks then and stuff.
Yes,
but last year a lot of lads got to spread after their first cut, second cut and third cut, and they got to use up the slurry. Like, so it was even though there was an awful lot of extra slurry around, it was used up.
But then it comes back to the fertiliser prices, make the most of it, I'm sure that's a byproduct anyway.
Yeah. Like years ago lads would whinge about you drawing in a load of water, now they're telling you to draw it in.
Oh aye, dilute it as much as you can.
Yeah. We're after buying a wagon and a loading shovel for this year.
Right, okay. Very good.
There's one or two jobs that I do a lot of baling for. They would have originally done pit.
Yeah.
And with extending yards and extending cubicle sheds, they changed to all bales because they lost their silage slabs. A lot of them have new silage slabs put down now, and they're all thinking of going back to maybe half pit, half bales.
Okay.
They're all short draws, maybe 50 acres at a time, but short handy draws, and I'm just going to try the wagon, see how it goes. It's an investment, but it's not a big investment compared to trying to buy a harvester and 3 trailers and an extra fleet of men there, like, you know.
And you already have the rakes for a wagon, really?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like everything is there. Like, really, all I'm buying is the wagon and the loading shovel. Like, tractors are there, drivers are there.
Well, you started a mixed bag of tractors.
Yeah.
Or did you start off New Holland, or were you?
I stayed, I started New Holland. And I had 2 Masseys at one stage, and I was trying to trade a Massey to buy another Massey, and it was around time of COVID. Remember, everything slowed down and it was hard getting on it. And I couldn't get a Massey with a front loader the way my old one was, with the joystick on the armrest.
Oh yeah.
With low enough hours, and anyone I asked then, I priced a couple of new ones, but you could get me new ones, but I couldn't get the way I had the loader and the old one. That was my biggest problem. I couldn't get a new one for 6 months the way I wanted it, and I kind of needed it quicker than that. I had been looking at Class before that, and I went back and I rang 3 Class dealers. Then the Farm Machinery had the tractor up there that I wanted, and that was on the Monday. I rang them on the Monday, and it was in my yard on the Friday. And I've been dealing with Owen up in Leinster Farm Machinery ever since.
That was the end of the Fords then?
No, that 68 that's down there on the tank, that was only bought this time last year off a friend of mine, Jason Daly.
Okay.
He's a mechanic by trade, and he's bringing in tractors and cleans them up and sells them on again. This was bought, this is 4-year-old now, well 4 years with me. It was bought kind of specifically for this job.
Okay, yeah. So you just welded into this then?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
This pipe system came on the 1st of middle of November 23, and it came off the end of November this year, in 24. First time in the year. First time it was off since it came. And it was only taken off because I wanted to do the handbrake on this tractor, and I was kind of sick of trying to park it sideways across hills for the last couple of months, and just general few bits to be done with this tractor, because in fairness, touch wood, this has been a very lucky tractor. Like, so we'd be spreading as much slurry during the summer with these as we would during the winter. And it's very easy, when we're busy at silage, if I get up and go at 4:30 in the morning, which we do some mornings, roll out, start spreading, turn the key off at 10 o'clock, home and jump up onto a baler and go baling for the day, go back the next morning at 5 o'clock and do another 5 or 6 hours, home and back onto a baler. You have 12 hours slurry done. You have most job, you might take you 2 bits a day, but you have him done, and you bring on and on to the next night and roll it out and do a few hours, and it's just a matter of blow it out, just turn the key off where it is.
I'm starting to feel bad for your wife. All that's work and cancelling holidays.
I do feel sorry for
she
myself.
Must never see you.
No, but it could be a good thing sometimes.
So what's the plan now then? This is your last field here?
This last field here, this is this job finished, so just gather up all now and head down the road, go about 2 mile back the way there and head to another farm.
Yes.
Unfortunately, there's no going home just yet. No, in fairness to the lads, like, they put in a savage effort from they know themselves from the 15th to 13th of January here until the 1st of November, you could say, 1st of October, anyway, definitely. It's just everything is go. But they know themselves then for the 2 months we're tipping around, we're around the yard, we're drawing bales, we're not stressed. We're start at 8 or 8:30 in the morning, you're finished there at 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. Probably most Saturdays then they would be working, you know, only working Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
But in fairness then they'll put in a great effort when it does get busy.
Yeah.
Dara there now, like, I tell Dara to be in the yard in the morning at 4:30, he'll be there at 4:30. And he won't look to go home early, or I have asked there, I told him here the other day we're working Sunday, like we'll work the next couple of Sundays as well, and no problem at all.
Well, what's your staff situation like? Are you the same as everybody else and can't get boys, or have you got not in, or you're not too bad?
Not too bad, no.
Yeah?
No.
You must be paying plenty then, that's
Well, yeah, I don't know. I think I am, whether I am or not is another thing, but Keith then, he's at home in the yard, he's drawing bales today, he's actually at concrete, we're getting concrete laid at home in the yard there today, so he's at that. He's 3 years with me now, all year round. And then Nigel, that was on the class there, he was with me for 7 years, and he went off and tried other stuff for a while and came back here in September.
Yes.
He's with me the longest. He's with me nearly since day one.
Right, okay.
Then Sean, he was there for a long time, and he went off to America. He's home now, but I think he's only home until March or something, he says.
Oh, that's the young fella on the Ford?
68,
yeah.
I think now that's what he was saying. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I wouldn't mind if he did stay around, because go up and I'd get him going in one of the Grennan's manure shakers there.
Yes.
But no, we're generally not too bad. Look, I have a younger brother there, Iana. He's working there. He's an engineer in a factory in Ballinasloe. And it's Monday to Thursday. So he's there on a Friday, on a Saturday and a Sunday, which is a big help. He does a lot of farming. We're farming between us, the two of us. And he keeps an eye on a lot of that. And then when we're right busy, then he'd jump on a tanker, he'd jump on a baler, or he can drive anything there. So then I have a couple of friends that are dairy farmers, and they all kind of work with contractors before they all went home full time. So one thing's quite enough for them during the summer is when breeding is done and they have their own silage done. A lot of them come with me and had milk that morning and come maybe and go on a rake or something at 9 or 10 o'clock and rake there till 6 o'clock in the evening and go home and milk and come back.
Yeah. You just work with boys, sort of?
Yeah. Look, with this job, today there's 5 of us here today, between 2 tankers going, 2 of us here, and Keith drawing bales now, and he'll be at Dung and stuff next week. But then in a fortnight's time, you might only want 2 lads.
Yeah.
So, and it's the same during the summer, like, and I find it works well. A lot of silage might come in there on a Saturday and a Sunday. I know, yeah, you have to work on a Sunday, but it's mighty to get lads.
When you can get them? Yeah.
But generally, we're not too bad now.
Well, then what way do you spread a fill whenever you come in? For I was always taught you come in at the gate and you head for your furthest point and you split the fills. But there's a lot of boys would cross over the pipe.
All depends. I'd be telling you a lie if I told you how to do it. I just...
Tell me how not to do it then.
Don't wind it up in a knot, or don't wrap it around a drinker. Or each farm is different. Like, there's one farm I go to, and he has land 2 sides of the road. One side of the road, when I'm spreading it, I go to the furthest point of the farm and work my way back. And on the other side of the farm, the way it works out the best for me is to start at the closest point.
Okay.
And put my pipe the whole way to the end of the farm.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But look, lads are going to watch this and say, why is he doing it that way? Why is he doing it this way? I have my way of doing it. Works for me, might work for other lads. I don't know.